Floods, snowstorms, tornadoes, chemical spills, heat waves, and fires. If any of these disasters occurred, would you be prepared? The Lake Communicators and the City of Mentor hosted a workshop to help residents learn how. The event featured informational displays and presentations from organizations like the Lake County Emergency Management Agency and Red Cross.
It's something that we all seem to take for granted, that emergencies will happen. We see it on the news, on television, we read it in the papers, we hear it on the radio every day. Somewhere, somebody is in the middle of an emergency. Since we all know that there are going to be emergencies, why don't we better prepare for them?
Being prepared requires planning. The American Red Cross encourages everyone to get a kit, make a plan, and be informed.
3 steps that we encourage are getting a disaster preparedness kit, either one pre-made for you by someone like the American Red Cross, or you can make your own using a template from us, or even from the internet. Make a plan. How are you going to stay in your house during a disaster? How are you going to leave your house during a disaster? Where are you going to meet friends and family? Actually set up the actual location. How are you going to get information during the disaster? How are you going to send information to family and friends during a disaster? So get a kit, make a plan, be informed.
When a disaster occurs, police and fire must respond to life and death emergencies first.
The key to personal preparedness is being able to maintain until help arrives. One of the problems that we have when we have a large-scale emergency or a major disaster is there's a period of time, there's going to be a lapse of time when resources are going to be overwhelmed usually, and the services that general public expects are not going to be readily available. When that happens, the individual needs to be prepared, and that's the whole purpose of this tonight.
As long as you prepare yourself to stay at your home for at least 72 hours without electricity or outside aid, then you are ready to go. That is what we aim for, is to get the public ready to stay at home and shelter in place for 72 hours.
An emergency kit contains canned food, water, extra blankets, flashlights, medications, and other things you'll need in a 72-hour period. But you need to make a kit so that you're prepared.
The time to get ready for an emergency is what we call the blue sky period. We want to make sure that your supplies, your plan, and your ways to get information are already ready before anything happens. Because once something happens, it's going to be very difficult to get those items together.
And once you've prepared yourself, you can go one step further and train to help others. Both the Red Cross and the Emergency Management Agency depend on volunteers during disasters.
Anytime there is a disaster in the county, I assist with getting volunteers involved, organizing the volunteers, working with agencies who are involved in the disaster, and placing the volunteers where they're needed.
One of the major goals of EMA in their recovery phase is to get people back to their normal, routine, daily lives as quickly and as efficiently as we can. And if we can do that, then I consider that a major success.
That's why promoting being prepared is so important, and it's a campaign that the Lake Communicators have committed to.
Ray Somich from the Emergency Management Association came to us saying, can you help us promote a campaign? And with our expertise with writers and designers and thinkers, we're hoping to come up with a campaign as simple as click it or ticket, something that will remind people to be prepared.
The first step is to go to redcross.org. Heed the advice to make sure you're prepared for the next emergency. Then, if you're able, consider helping others in the community by becoming a Citizen Corps volunteer. Just contact the Lake County Emergency Management Agency at 350-5499.